Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the Retro Secret Wars Wave Captain America. So this one is very similar to the Unparalleled Cap, the Toy Biz 20th anniversary, except this one is now pinless. We get a couple of new head sculpts, of course, in there, and then we got a broken ass shield there. So a couple of differences, but some awesome things. This is a throwback to the original Mattel Secret Wars action figure line from the 80s when Secret Wars originally released in 1984. So this is the 40th anniversary. I got 4 figures out of the 6 in the wave. I got Captain America, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Titania. I've already reviewed Spider-Man and Wolverine. If you want to go back and watch those reviews. I got my figures from toysnowman.com. They are based in Canada. So link in the video description below. That's my referral link that will give you a 5% off coupon code for all new accounts. So if you're creating an account for the first time, you're going to get that 5% off coupon code. As of last I checked, all the figures in the wave were in stock except for Spider-Man. So if you're looking to pick up the Secret Wars figures, or you're looking to pick up this Captain America figure specifically, head to toysnowman.com. Again, use my referral link in the video description below. Captain America, let's get into it. We get the shield, the Secret Wars shield, again, homage to the original toy line. We get the broken shield in there. We get that swappable little plate piece for, it's just a piece of cardboard, for that shield, because you got the lenticular, you got, Captain America, Steve Rogers. Whoa, hold on. Let me look in the camera. Steve Rogers, Captain America. Steve Rogers, Captain America. We get a couple of extra sets of hands. It looks like we got fists, we got grip hands, and then we've got finger pointing hand, and we've got a salute hand, and then the 2 head sculpt. One angry, one smiling. Looking at the back of the package, we get the cross sell of all the figures in the wave. Again, I do not have Iron Man. I do not have Beyonder, although I did order them from toysnowman.com. So hopefully in about a week or so, I should have those. So I'm excited to finish out the wave. The bio for Captain America reads, when the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four are transported to a strange planet, Captain America is chosen to take the lead in fighting the ultimate war. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get Cap out of the package. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button now. Help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're about 1,200 subscribers away. We're getting closer, but if you're a fan of the channel, fan of the action figure reviews, and haven't already done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button now. Alright guys, here is the Captain America figure out of the package. I just checked toysnowman.com. The only figures left in the wave is actually Titania and Iron Man. So hopefully you guys were watching my Spider-Man review and my Wolverine review and caught the word that the most of the wave was in stock, and you could have ordered the Beyonder, you could have ordered Captain America. But again, if you're still looking to get either Iron Man or Titania, toysnowman.com does have those 2 in stock at the time of this recording, which is midnight, 12:16 a.m. Sunday the 10th, or, which would be like Saturday evening, still kind of thing. But here we have the Captain America figure, and there's a couple of things that's a bit odd with this Captain America figure, if I'm being completely honest. The color is different from the Unparalleled Cap, the 20th anniversary. The figure itself is, for the most part, very similar. Like, the boot pieces are the same, the torso piece is the same, some of the upper leg pieces are different. The legs themselves are pinless now, so there are obviously some differences there. The arms are pinless now, so there's some differences there. The feel of the figure is a little bit different, and then he's got this pointing finger hand, and I don't know if that other one has the same issue, but that's a weird ass looking finger. Like, right? Like, look at that thing. It's super wide at the end. That's like a sausage finger. It just looks a bit weird. And then the color, like, if I'm being honest, the color of the red, it's like this faded red. I wish it was a better red. It just looks kind of funky and cheap, if I'm being honest. Like, in the salute hand, the way it just comes out thin looking, it's just kind of weird. Like, I'm not a fan of this red. I like the red of the Unparalleled Cap. It's similar, but like the gloves are a darker red. So I kind of wished it would have been like either a brighter red or a darker red, as opposed to like this faded, like, weird color. I don't know if it's coming, how well it's coming through in video, but like in hand, it's like, oh, the red looks a little bit funky. It's like almost more of an orangish red, and I wish it would have been more red. But here we have it, and this is the figure itself though is going to be great. So I mean, I have weird complaints that are minor nitpicks, like not a big deal at all, like the finger thing, like who cares, right? The red thing, that's just the design choice that they went with the figure. It is good. It feels a little bit different though, if I'm being honest. Like this top part, I'm like, man, this feels like rubber, and it's almost like there's this rubber overlay, but it's not quite on the scale mail effect, the chain mail or scale mail, because it's more of a scale, not chain, that I never noticed before on the Unparalleled Toy Biz throwback one. It's the same mold though, but it feels softer on this one. Like I could like almost peel it, as you can see it kind of moves around. Like I never realized before, like this one could do it too, just not nearly as much. So there is that difference there. We still don't get a full like shield. Like this one had the holes in it because you could do like the gun blast little reflective pieces on there. And then this one's just a broken up shield. Like you get this piece that's mostly the shield, and then you get these two broken pieces that kind of go along with it too. So you can set yourself up for some really cool things, which I really like. But it still has the dreaded C-clip piece on there, so you want to be careful with that. But it looks cool that you kind of get that broken up piece. And then the two head sculpts, which are nice. I know there are some complaints when it comes to the eye holes, like he should have wider eye holes, but we didn't get those. And then you get the weird Secret Wars, homage shield thing that came with the original toy line, which doesn't really make sense or anything, but hey, we got it. You get unmasked Steve Rogers, but we don't actually get that head sculpt, and then you got the masked. So, cool thing. So let's go ahead and get in for a closer look at Captain America. Okay, so up close look at Captain America. Here we have the angry head sculpt, and that looks really good. Digital face print on there for the lips and the teeth and the eyes. Came out looking good, so I like that. No stoic face along with this cap, whereas we did get a stoic face there before. As you can see, the blues do not match, so head swapping is not going to be a thing that I'm going to do in this video. Even though I know people are going to want to see it, the colors aren't going to match. It looks weird to me, and that's not something that I'm going to do. Height-wise, they kind of look, well... What? Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this one, his legs are a little bit further out apart than this one. So, like, height-wise, they're the same because they're essentially the same figure, but, pinless is going to be the difference. And then to knock this out of the way in terms of comparison, you see these upper leg pieces? We get some nice sculpted wrinkles in there that we did not get on the Unparalleled cap there. It's kind of weird that we got the wrinkles there, but the rest of the figure doesn't really have wrinkles in the suit. Like, that's kind of odd, right, in those legs. We see some muscular definition, but we don't see any wrinkles. Is it that big of a deal? No, not really, not to me. The knees are significantly different because these ones are much larger, so you can see that they are retooled leg pieces. They are not the exact same, although a lot of the muscle definition is the same, but I would imagine they would have to just create new tooling specific to it. Looking at the arms for the most part are about the same, but we are pinless now, of course, so that is kind of the big difference. In there, the glove is like very different. As you can see, this glove is like an add-on piece to the forearm, whereas this one, that was truly the forearm piece, so a little bit of a change up there. And I don't know if this is just something different in the manufacturing of how they're doing their shoulders, but as you can see here, like the hinge is really recessed deep down into that shoulder. That is not the case in this in the older cap. As you can see, the hinge is right there at the shoulder. So it is a big difference there, whereas they're really recessed back. From a toy perspective, this is aesthetically better looking because there's not like a gap in there. But when you have that, I think you can get some additional hinge, although that just goes straight on out. Let's see. I mean, that's all. I mean, we were able to do that before, so I'm not sure what the benefit of that was, to be honest with you. It's just, I noticed that in the Wolverine figure in those shoulders, so I'm noticing it now, so it's just kind of interesting. We don't get any kind of shading or cell shading in here, whereas we got like cell shading in the red before on the previous one, and we got a little bit of shading like in the boots and stuff like that. We do not get any of that this time around. I don't mind it because I'm not the biggest fan of cell shading. Sometimes the shading can look good and work. In that cap, it was pretty subtle, so it wasn't a big deal, but I also am not sad to not see that here, if that makes sense. Some of you guys may think differently on that. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. It's just never been, my favorite thing. This is the Angry Head sculpt. We're going to take a look at the other one. Just a couple of things, like little slight, paint miss there, but I'm sure it's going to kind of vary. Hopefully no one else has any kind of issues like that. This head sculpt doesn't have any issues there. But this is the happy-go-lucky Steve Rogers. He's all smiles. He's good. There. Both head sculpts do look really good in my opinion, so that is great. Let's take a close look at the broken shield, and this thing, excuse me, this thing is pretty awesome. They did this nice silver paint in there to show the cracks because, obviously on a crack, the paint would kind of be missing. So it should be basically like a silver shield in there, which is great. But looks to me, I don't know if they painted those silver lines or if that's just the plastic. It's probably just the plastic. At first I was thinking, that's probably just silver. Well, they probably just didn't paint those spots. I'm not sure how they would have done it, if it would have been easier to just paint, the white and then paint the silver in there. Maybe if they did just paint the cracks, they painted them really well. So that is a great thing. If they just didn't paint in those spots, that worked out really good too. So it's cool there. But it's nice that it's in there. And those scratches are actually like in the mold, in the sculpt of it. So it's not like they're just lines in there. You can actually feel those cracks, which is great. You can see the shield is just all messed up. We got a gash that's missing there, a whole chunk missing there. And we got these two pieces here. And this is great also. But one thing about it is I wish they could kind of attach and then you could do like a break feature. That's probably asking a little too much. And that's becoming a little too gimmicky. I would imagine it'd probably be bulky on how it would connect and look weird and stuff. But it's still, the thought of it is kind of cool. But you can see kind of how the shield would have been if these pieces were completely together. So that is a nice touch. It just does not stay. Let's see if I can hold it in place and be magic. No, I cannot. Could I? Let's see if it just holds in place just ever so slightly, just long enough. Yeah, look at that. So it's Captain America. His head is on a disc hinge, so he can look all the way up, which is fantastic. He can look all the way down, which is great. There, you get full rotation in that head. Not really any pivot going along in there. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier, a second ago, too, he's got the peg hole on the back. So if you wanted to put the broken shield on there, you could do that, too. You can kind of see the C-clip, unfortunately, though, kind of when you do that. But you can do that with there, so just heads up on that. The shoulder, you can get the shoulder to go straight on out like so. You get a full rotation in there. You got an upper bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbow, gives you that much bend there at the elbow. The gloves are kind of wild there and kind of interfere a little bit, as you can see. So you can do just over 90 degrees if you get that the upper elbow portion bent in a little bit, but it's because of that glove. But if you work that gets in the way there with the glove. So just heads up on that. Wrist swivel, and they do hinge. Standard horizontal hinge on all of the hands that he comes with. The fists, the grip hands, and the finger point with the weird wide finger that looks creepy, and the salute hand for the right. So there. We have the ab crunch on Cap, so he can crunch forward that much. That's not very far, unfortunately. There. He can go back a little bit there and get a little bit of a shelf, a little bit of gap in there, so it's kind of funky, so that's a little too bad. You got a waist swivel in there. You may just have to move the belt around to get that waist swivel going there. Legs go out that far apart, so that is really good. He could do the full splits. I'm trying to think, unparalleled Cap, he could do that? That's all this one did, but with these new upper leg pieces, you can do much more, so that is a big, huge difference, so that is awesome that we get that upgrade in there. You can kick forward extremely far. Holy moly, look at those. Look at these upper leg pieces. Man, that is some crazy movement on that thigh. Wow, that's great. Goes back slightly in there. You got an upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed pinless knee. I love when we get a figure that's fully pinless. It should be on every single one at this point. But if there were still pins, at least it'd be blue and blue. Pinless is still better, but that much bend at the knee. You get boot swivel in there, which is great. Foot hinges down all the way. You get some hinge up, not a whole lot. Ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So pretty good movement for Cap, except for the ab crunch, which is lacking. But, you know, when you work those hip pieces, look how far down you can get him to go. So that is great. So there is Captain America's articulation. Again, I think pretty good. He feels really good also. Like the rubberness of this torso, I kind of like it. There isn't as much detail because, you know, we had a lot of painted detail on this previous one here. We don't get that this time around, and the colors are very different. Like, I prefer these colors here, but these colors aren't bad either. Like, if I actually think from the comic books and stuff like that, in like old toys, this is probably the color that really comes to mind. But having the two in hand, I like this blue more. But this one does make absolute sense. Like, if you look at old images of the comic images and things like that, this is probably the blue and red color that you see. So having that represented really here in action figure form is nice. Now, looking at the figure in hand versus looking through my camera, it looks much more like royal bluish. In hand, it's more of an aqua blue. Not green in any way, if that makes sense. But it's kind of like a faded blue, whereas this to me is like a real royal blue. So I don't know how well, like through the camera on TV, how it's going to come out for you guys. So just a heads up on that. But this, very, very, very good. I know you've probably seen these two quite a bit in this video side by side together, but I wanted to kind of get that out of the way as I was setting it up while taking pictures as well. But one thing that I didn't do in my Wolverine review is show him next to the Spider-Man. So I'm going to take care of that here by putting Captain America and Wolverine and Spider-Man together, because those are the figures that I've now reviewed in this wave. So that is good. Titania, I still haven't opened yet, so I can't show her together. Iron Man and Beyonder, I don't have yet either. Everyone keeps telling me like the feet are super huge on Spider-Man, and now I can't unsee it because it's not something that I really noticed before, but now I really notice it, and it does kind of bother me. And why can I not get this guy to stand up right now? With his big ass feet, you think he could be sturdy, right? But Secret Wars so far, like, if I look at these, kind of the color of them, I mean, Spider-Man, it's just all black, so, like, you know, you can't really say either way, but it reminds me very toyetic-like of old school vintage toys. And that was kind of the idea with the line. You know, we get the throwback card that recreates the figures from the 80s, so that makes sense, right? So now looking at these, especially like the Wolverine and the Cap, because the coloring of them, again, really reminds me of kind of old school toys. So it makes sense. You know, Wolverine, like the orange, like, ugh, it's not even close to brown. People think it's ugly. I get it, sure, but, you know, it kind of makes sense to me. Again, homage to the original toy. You know, I think it should have been a little bit more brownish side, a little bit darker. Like, even when I look at images from the comics, it's not this light. So it's just kind of one of those things. But looking at the three together really reminds me of old toys, and I really like that key thing. You know, when you get figures that look like that, and, you know, homage to the originals, because a lot of people were talking about the nostalgia of having those toys in the 80s and now having these ones and really loving them. I could absolutely see it having these figures in hand, because that's the feeling that I get, and I think it's pretty awesome. So I'm very excited for this line. Hopefully that you guys will like it too. The Iron Man figure I'm not as excited about, because I know it's going to be pinless, so we get the updates there, but, you know, it's still just like another Iron Man figure that's very similar to the ones that we got. Even this Captain America, the coloring of it just makes it feel a little different too, and then it's pinless, and then you get the added wrinkles in those upper legs. I don't know that the Iron Man is really going to bring in a lot of new, but, you know, we'll see when I get it how I feel. You know, one thing that I almost forgot is last year in the Avengers Beyond Earth's Mightiest anniversary program, we got that 2-pack with Doctor Doom and Captain Marvel from the Secret Wars. So now we can kind of do this to where Doctor Doom is the one that destroyed Cap's shield, and Cap was able to, you know, get one wish granted, and he wished for his shield to be repaired. But you now have the characters to kind of do this, since Doctor Doom is the one that, broke it there. So that is cool. It sucks, actually, because now this thing is all, like, this one's got pins. How cool would it be to get a Doctor Doom like this, but pinless? We should have gotten that before, but we didn't get that now. But I think the Iron Man probably shares some of the same parts, so now we will have pinless versions of those arms and legs, which is too late. But maybe someone can customize it. Use this torso, swap out those arms, and give us like a pinless version. I don't know that it's worth doing all of that because it doesn't change the functionality of the figure, but it'd be nice, I guess. Okay, and then just to have all the kind of the Secret Wars figures together so far, Titania I will add the next video, and then Iron Man and Beyonder, when those come in from toysnowman.com, then I will be able to do that, add them in too. Okay, so that's my review of Cap. I think he's definitely one to pick up. If you don't have that Toy Biz 20th anniversary Captain America, this one is an absolute pickup. If you have that other one, maybe this one's going to be a pass for you. But again, the updated pin to pinless, he has more posability on the legs, if that's something that you need to do in terms of photography and things like that. The broken shield, I love the concept. It's a really cool feature if you want to kind of do some things. Or if you want to just get it to keep on card. It's a beautiful presentation. But you guys give me all your thoughts down in the comments below on that. Again, I got mine from toysnowman.com. Currently, at the time of this recording, only Titania and Iron Man are the only ones remaining. But make sure to check out toysnowman.com for all your action figure needs, whether it's Marvel Legends or import figures, SH Figure Arts, Mafex, Mezco even, Joy Toy, Warhammer stuff, McFarlane Toys, all that good stuff. Toy Snowman's got you covered. They're based in Canada, but shipped, everywhere. So link in the video description below. Again, new accounts will get a 5% off coupon code with my referral link. So make sure to check out toysnowman.com. But down in the comments below, you guys give me your thoughts on this Captain America figure. I am really loving it, more than I think I thought I was going to love it. I was thinking, it's just another Captain America figure, but the updatedness to it is really nice. The blue is really growing on me. The red I still don't quite care for, but it's really cool, and I love the broken shield. It is really nice. 2 head sculpts, so a lot to really like on this figure. But you guys give me your thoughts in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'm getting closer and closer to that 50,000 subscriber goal. At first I was thinking, man, we could do this. Now it seems to slow down a little bit. So again, if you're here, you enjoy my action figure reviews, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I try to do action figure reviews as much as possible. So if you like them, if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching.